the studio. Right, we'll have issues to, discuss, issues bordering our sovereignty and our development as a country. So these are political issues we're talking about. We'll also deal with some social concerns as well, because remember, the public transport chaos and challenges. We are having information that Metromass is in some kind of standoff because spare parts, meant for that institution, that's Metromass, has been stuck at the ports for years. We'll have a situation on that. We'll look at its implications and how the urban transport system itself has been set up. But ahead of that, we'll look at our African story. And this morning, we'll be dealing with elections on the African continent. If your viewers would come along with me, you realize that there's been a spate of disputed election results in almost every African country. The winners win, the opposition complain. Issues about rigging and the rest. We'll have the discussion because this week is an election week here in Ghana. The NPP will be going to the polls to elect a flag bearer. So we'll have all this discussion at the back of what will be happening on Saturday. Election or disputed elections on the African continent. We'll also try and talk about yesterday, the press conference that was held by the so-called I don't know what to say, but the minority in parliament. Let me just end there. Okay, so the minority caucus in parliament, they held a press conference yesterday and they took the government to the washes, issuing a threat that they're going to protect all our democratic principles and rules at the very peril of their lives. So the minority leader, Afenyo Martins, led that charge at the press conference. We want to have a better understanding of exactly what he wanted to mean at that fora that the NPP had yesterday. So these issues we've tabled for discussion this morning. But I'm not here alone. I'm in the studio with Awo Kekeli. He's a member of the NDC's National Communications team. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You look elegant.
Thank you.
Even though you said you are not feeling well. But you don't show.
Sometimes you don't, but within, that's how it comes. Sometimes something happens and we're like, oh, we saw the person was fine. But within, the person might not be fine.
It's not fine. But you are fine. We believe that you are
yes,
fine. Or
yes.
you will be fine.
We are people of faith.
Of course. All right. Thank you so much for making time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Also with us in the studio, it's Karen Kemeche.
Yes.
I hope I got it right.
Yes, you got it right.
Karen Kemeche is the director for Diasporan Affairs and Special Projects for the NPP Lawyer Ladies. We'll know more about the group this morning.
Yeah.
All right, Karen.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thanks for joining us. Happy
Thank
New
you
Year
for having me. Happy New Year to you
thank
and your
for
viewers.
Gracing the platform.
Thank you for the
appreciate
opportunity.
that. All right. I want to start off first. NPP Lawyer Ladies.
Yes.
Who are you guys?
So the NPP Lawyer Ladies is an all-female political volunteer group which started 10 years ago in March. This March will be 10 years. And it started as a group to motivate, groom, and ensure that there's active participation of young women in Ghana's political landscape. So that's what the group exists to serve.
Right.
Yeah.
And how has the journey been so far?
The journey has been beautiful. In one word, beautiful. And I would say that because in recent times, we are seeing more and more women embrace politics, as opposed to before, where politics as a woman, doing politics as a woman, was a touchy subject. There were a lot of stereotypes. There still are, but we are part of the people changing the narrative in our country, Ghana. And I'm happy to see a lot more young women like myself and even younger coming on board, getting interested in what we do as a country and how to get to the top, seeing a lot of role models like Madam Akosia Menu, Her Excellency Haja Samira, taking active participation in politics, sometimes even being at the forefront. We see a lot of them now and we are motivated, and that's what the group is for. So the journey has been tough, but it has also been a beautiful learning experience for most of us.
Right. I'm forced to ask this before we move on. How are you dealing, I'm talking about the group, with the stereotype that you talk about? I think it's one major offset for women who want to enter into politics. I know that once you have that group, maybe perhaps you formulated policies and programs to deal with stereotype. How has it been like?
There'll always be challenges, but challenges are also meant to be overcome. And so over the years, we've structured the group such that we deal with some of these stereotypes by the things we do. If you accuse us of something, but then the public or you yourself see us doing other things, like being activists, being champions of change, being champions of progress in politics for women, definitely those stereotypes would change. And another thing we do is try not to justify the stereotypes that people try to place on us. You see me here today, I look and I sound intelligent, no?
Of course.
Of course. So you know that the group is filled with young, intelligent women who have a lot to give the country, way more than what people think. We have the minds, we have the interest, and we have the passion. And that is what the public should focus on. And most importantly, protect us, being women, and especially being very young, Gen Zs and then millennials and all of that. This is the time the public should embrace that young women especially are getting interested in politics and protect us rather than attack us or make it uncomfortable for us to even do politics. The future is female, so why not support us?
The future is female, I like that. And how would we share those opinions?
I'll support them, but we all have. I'm not too much into female things because for some strange reason, it's like anywhere I am within females, I attract envy, jealousy, and hatred. So
it's part of the stereotyping, right?
Yeah. So I hardly find myself in groups of women, especially younger ones. I prefer to be with the older ones, with the men more. Because I saw myself growing in the midst of men who supported me, who brought me. All my political career, it's been really the men who had really pushed me this far. I remember when I was contesting and all that, I heard the names that women called me. Because then much women were not into political positions, apart from women organizers and all that, and I saw myself going for vice chairman, communication officer at the region and all that, and it was women who gave me names, but men held my hand and took me there, pushed me up there. So I don't know what it is about me that women can't stand, but I love women. I love because I am.
You're a woman.
I am. I love women, but I hardly find myself in there. Anything that has to do with women, mostly I don't.
And it's
too
one
much.
of the inner battles, I'm told, that affects the advancement of women who want to enter into politics. Your own gender will tend to bring you down.
Yeah.
It's true, but I think that if each and every one of us have a personal resolve to make the next woman or the next girl feel comfortable in that space, I think we can change that stereotype, because I faced it myself, and it's one of my personal resolves within the group to make sure that the younger ones that are coming in wouldn't experience the things I experience. We try to create a space that is safe and enjoyable for these young women so that we continue to build their interest in politics. So I would say let's have a personal resolve that even though women have problems, let's make sure that the next woman who encounters us in politics leaves with a better or a good impression.
Seriously, because I remember saying this, I was with Jennifer Quinn also, and I was like, one thing I also saw that those who went ahead of us, very few of them though, because they went through some challenges, we also want you to go through them. I don't see why as a woman I should see the younger ones go through what I went through and stay back, oh, because I went through it, you should also go through it. No. At least it's because you were there first. I believe that we should be able to also go on that path without blocks, without hitches, without all these challenges. But it's like my sister said, it should be a personal resolve. Some people really do not mind if it happens to you or not. I went through it, so it won't be bad if you also experience that. But for me, I love women who are into politics, and Auntie Rodali has been one of them, Nanaya Jantua, Susan Edua Mankwa. Those were the people, though I was younger than them, I was always in their misery. We are on set and they helped me carry on to be where I am. But it's like our age group and all that. But still, I'm a woman. And I wish we can do better for ourselves. I wish we can encourage each other. I wish we won't be that women are their own enemies. For me, I can never be a woman's enemy. Even if you're after my husband, we can share. And I believe
easier said than done.
Oh, no. For me, I've always said that maybe the men might think I don't love you or something, but I do. I don't see why I should go. If you love someone, you give the person space. If they go and I've always said that if you have a promiscuous man, if he comes back with disease, we all die together, isn't it? I will not be the only one who suffers it. So right. You bring it, we die together. I want us women, like, we're doing better for ourselves because my sister is saying the future belongs to women, but I know we have a man's world. We are not here to compete with the men and all that. We are here to be their helpers. We are here to work with them on the same level, and we have seen a lot of women who have done better than some men, right? Especially in our politics.
Auntie Rodling, welcome. Nice to have you in the studio. So Auntie Rodling Ayana is a public interest advocate, and she's joined us.
It's been hectic getting here.
The traffic.
Oh God, it's been hectic.
All the cars are back onto the...
Yes, it's hectic.
Because the fuel is down.
I know you will go there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't start. Yes, Auntie Ayana, you've listened to the conversation.
Yeah, I just heard something about women and women
participation, in politics, and we're discussing because Karen brought an issue about stereotyping, women. That's why it attracted my attention. I don't know your experience.
I'd like to say good morning to our cherished viewers, and good morning to all Ghanaians as well, wherever they are around the globe, and good morning to the rest of us here. Stereotyping. I guess stereotyping is not just on the women, it's everywhere. There's stereotyping everywhere. But for women, I listened to this issue about we being our own enemies. Yeah. Well, I don't think that is true. A woman's friend is a woman. Your mother is a woman. Your friend, your auntie is a woman. Your friend, your grandma. Those are the people that we love, and they're all women. So I don't think that we are our own enemies. I mean, it's something that has been put out there just to make us feel that way, but it is not true. A woman's friend is a woman. Politics and women, it's interesting to think that, some characteristics that we have, we develop from our infancy, we develop from our homes, we develop it from our backgrounds. So you cannot change those ones. So you get a situation where, as women, we go to, say, a workshop or a seminar, and we all decide and we resolve that this time we are going to support each other, regardless of where or which political party you belong to. I've had a situation while I was in the CPP where we decided that, look, if you are in a constituency and we don't have a candidate, and the candidate there is a woman, support the person, help the person. And we saw our women do that. But then at the end of the day, we have women also who do not see it as anything. They don't appreciate what the sacrifices that you have done. And it has to do with upbringing, it has to do with the political party you belong to, their kind of thoughts, the mentality, and stuff like that. For us in the CPP, we've always been like nationalistic. So whichever angle we look at it, and we believe in women. We are the first political party to have 3 women leaders, which I was gracefully one. So it is something that we believe in, nurturing women, because our party was built around women. Women financed the first CPP that came around. So it's something that we believe in, and we've had great women coming from the CPP. So for us, I don't think that the stereotyping bit is one that gets us. Yes, anytime that you put women together, probably it's a natural thing. You always have some differences, and it's a turf war. It's more like a turf war. It has nothing to do with you personally than what you represent. Are you getting me? So that once you enter a room, I'm sizing you up. It's just like how animals size each other up. So I am already sizing you up. And I'm sizing you up looking at your weaknesses and your strengths. Where can I override you? It's a competitive nature that women have. You get me? So I might not come across to being nice, not because I don't like you, but suddenly in me, I thought, why is her hair like that? Why is she that? Because I'm already comparing stuff. And I've already decided that this is not how you're supposed to be. That comes back to where? My upbringing. You get me?
Right.
My upbringing. So a lot of things happen because of our backgrounds, and those things affect us. I might see her in a very short miniskirt, and coming from home, you look fine, nothing wrong with it. But I will say, wow, why should she be wearing this miniskirt? You know, that kind of thing. Do you understand? And then you might say, but why is she complaining about my dress? After I even walked from home, nobody said it's bad. But that's how it is. It's because of our upbringings. And we bring that into our political life. And sometimes
I don't know whether it's the love affair, so to speak, because it looks as if the general concern is that men are more receptive, you know, let's say in a room, towards a lady than a colleague female, you know, opening up to a fellow woman. That is the assumption. That's why I'm asking, is it that love affair stuff or something, you know? Because men are naturally drawn towards women. If you enter into a room and you see a woman, you know, you'll open up, but a woman won't open up.
Women are not drawn to women. It would be something else.
But if you are each other's slave, and that has been I get where you are going. No, but that's not the notion.
I know what you mean, but,
yeah, but the notion is that, you know, attractiveness, you know, trying to help.
I know.
You know.
I mean, you normally find men when women come in trying to help. You understand? But you see, at the end of the help, what's back there? You see, what is back there with the help? That's what the men have to answer. But
right.
when a woman comes, like I said, you already size up the person. So imagine me sitting there as a managing director or a CEO of a company, and then you walk in, and a fellow woman, and I'm still sticking to background, and then I see you come straight, confident, looking so assertive, you know, sharp dress. And here I am. When I woke up, I just took my slippers, wore, and I've come and I'm sitting there. The first thing is that, what the heck? You know, how can you just come looking like this? Already I've formed up a mind about you, even without you opening your mouth. And that's because we are women. That's how we are. We are just a competitive lot.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I always say that when people tell me that, oh, Wesley Girls people, they are very... I said, yes, it's competitive. When you get to Wesley Girls, you must be sharp. You have to be sharp.
Are you a Wesleyan?
Oh, you're
okay.
a Wesleyan, yes. So that's it. You have to be sharp. You understand? Because everything is competitive. Even who is going to fetch water first, who is going to dress up first, whose hair is going to be done. But you don't find that where I went. Right. So, you know, I feel relaxed.
Right.
So that's the nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
hope I answered it okay.
That's just got to get the debate started, right, on the lights friendship notes. Yeah, we are friends.
By the
so
time we get down, we say hello, hi. And then when we get positions, then it becomes difficult.
all right, so let's start off with the African story. You know, this morning we're trying to look at issues about elections, disputed election results. It's happening all over the world. Recently, we've witnessed Uganda. Bobby is disputing the elections. It's, you know, all the rest, and it's happening across almost every country in Africa where there seems to be an election. And I want to tie it into ours here in Ghana, our experiences, and, you know, for a couple of periods now, so to speak, electoral years, if I have to say so, we've witnessed, you know, some kind of electoral violence and all those things. People calling off the elections because of the results that have been churned out. I want to start with Karen. What do you make of the situation, and how can we address it?
To be honest, it's sad that in today's day and age, we still have such issues to the point where people have lost interest and even faith in the democratic systems of countries. I have a friend who's Ugandan, and she couldn't care less about the elections going on in her home country. And that was because they have that mindset that no matter what we do, the elections are still going to be rigged. the violence is still going to be happening. The ballot stuffing is still going to be happening. And seeing another person lose that much hope in the governance process in her country just tells me that if that hope or trust is lost, it also trickles down into every other sector. You do not trust the security system. You don't trust your police, your military service. You don't even trust your health system, because you can see that from the top, influence can come down and anything can happen. And that is very worrying, because once that trust is lost, that collective unity, that consensus to come together to make decisions for the country is gone. And it's left in the hands of the few powerful men and women to do those, to make those processes happen. And because of that, it stalls progress and development. At this age, or this year that we are in, with how there's technological advancement, there are countries going to certain extent that other countries can only hope and dream of, and all because development has been stalled by virtue of the fact that some democratic process has been disrupted or is being undermined. And it's very sad, because Africa has a lot of potential. Each and every African country has a lot of potential, and that potential can only be maximized when we allow the systems to work, the process to be fully completed freely and fairly. We go to the polls to express our opinions or our desires as a people, to be heard. In the last elections, a lot of people like to say that Ghanaians made their decision known. They went to the polls and sent a message, and that message was received. And my party, for instance, is learning from that message. Why can't other African countries allow the voices of the people that make up the country, be heard? So it's very sad that in this day and age, things like that are still happening. And we as Africans have to be worried, because the fact that something is happening in Uganda doesn't mean as a Ghanaian I shouldn't care about it. Because elections disruptions can cause a lot of things. It could lead to wars. It could lead to situations where we now have refugees. People have to flee the comfort of their homes to seek refuge elsewhere. There's trans-border instability, and all of that affects your neighbors, affects the economy, affects the sense of security and safety that people feel. So in this day and age, I'll say that it's very sad that we are still experiencing things like that. And I do hope that in the coming years, we learn and we wake up and realize what we are doing to ourselves as Africans.
You mentioned that your party has taken a cue of learned some lessons in what happened in the last elections. I want to be inquisitive.
Right.
Yeah. What's some of the lessons that you can share?
Oh, one lesson I can mention is to be a bit more listening. Face the realities and listen more to the people. And I believe that if we had listened more, the results would have been different. And that's one lesson we've taken from the table that we are actively working on. So as a political party, a lot of lessons have been learned, but I think the one that stands out for me is to be a little bit more of a listening ear to the Ghanaian populace.
Auntie Rodeline. Yeah. We're talking about disputed elections on
disputed elections?
Yes, on the African continent. It seems to be, happening. There's a surge. Because almost every other African country that there's an election, at the end of the day, you have the opposition, especially the opposition, coming out to dispute the elections. Leads to violence, leads to, instability, not just in that country, but it affects the entire, the entire continent.
For me, I put greed as number one. The leaderships of those various countries, they all come under the guise of sticking to whatever their constitutions say, and also trying as much as possible to live within democratic values. But when it's getting closer to the time, then greed sets in. So everybody else decides to stay longer. There's this entitlement mentality amongst Africans. We are entitled. The ordinary voter on the streets is an entitled being. I voted for you, so I demand this. I voted for you, so even the kiosk that is sitting somewhere that it shouldn't be, should be left there. And you hear it every day. Well, 2028, you will see, we will vote for you. I voted for you. We are entitled. We feel like everything is an entitlement that we must have. And once you start doing that, the one thing that we also were, unfortunately, handed over from colonial times is that tribalistic ethnic thing. Look around at Africa. All the problems that we are getting, mostly from ethnic and tribal sentiments. So the person comes from a certain tribe, and almost the whole lot of those tribes people are towards that person. And then after a while, that person is able to penetrate everywhere else. So before long, the whole country is one tribe. Take Togo. You understand? You will not have that kind of a free election when every sector is being governed by a family member of a president. Now you come to Uganda. It's the same thing that Museveni is doing. And I get so sad with Museveni because I was one of his supporters when he was in the bush, fighting to come in. When he wrote his book, I quickly went, bought it, and I read it, and I felt that, oh, this seems to be someone who was coming in to do wonders for Uganda. Only for him to come and also become another idiot, what do you call it, Mugabe.
He's a constitutional tyrant.
He's a constitutional tyrant. He doesn't seem to understand. And unfortunately, he's now 83. And now his children think that it has become a family thing. It isn't. We don't understand that thing called democracy in Africa. We have to accept it. We are yet to understand what it means, one man, one vote. Otherwise, people won't be stuffing ballot boxes. You understand? Otherwise, we will not be killing ourselves to transport people from one end. I mean, it's so pathetic to think that instead of trying to do the right thing so that you get the votes, we rather sit and we take polling station numbers and we find out how to skew the numbers. Oh, I only had 200 people here and this party would have won. So you transport from somebody who had excess to another place. This is what gerrymandering, even when it comes to dividing constituencies. You understand? We do a lot of gerrymandering. So NDC, or I'm just using Ghana because this is where I am. NDC feels that, oh, if I had 200 extra in maybe Teshinungwa, I would have won. Oh, but I have so many in Volta. So let me just bring 200 from there to come and, 400 to come and dilute the place, and I take it. You got it by deceit. So MPP too starts, oh, I also have this. And, the process goes on. We take things by deceit. And when there's no justice, there's no peace. You understand? So when you feel that you've not been treated well, then these things happen. A lot of these problems coming from the African countries, it's either because there's a resource that one person feels that I must be in charge. Look at Equatorial Guinea. Yeah. Go there and see the poverty. It's like them and us. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. With all this oil. Yet one family is just sitting there and deciding that we are not going. And no one has a say. Because at the end of the day, the big brother America is looking down there and making sure that you are a puppet. You understand? Mm-hmm. So they can get everything that they want to get from you. So at the end of it, you ask yourself, so what exactly can we do? Mm-hmm. And I still stick to the fact that until we become a united Africa, where we can exchange ideas, where we can share in the wealth that we have, these problems are going to be there all the time. Our own elections. We do all manner of things to get elected. You get me? So at the end of it, you are asking, are we really ready for this one man, one vote? Or do we need authoritarian rule to get things going? So many things are going wrong in Africa, everywhere. If you go to Nigeria, it's the same ethnic thing, problems. It's only Hausas, it's only the Northerners who have been ruling. We won't agree. Then there's fight. Then there is this. You understand? You go to La Côte d'Ivoire. One man is there. Today they say he has brought his somebody to be vice president because he's ready to go. Is it a family property? So let's be very careful in Ghana because something else is creeping in. I'm sorry I have to say this because I feel very strongly about it. An MP dies and we feel that the wife has to take over. I think it is wrong. We must all speak against it. It is your value, what you are capable of doing. You sell yourself. You sell yourself. And when you start doing that, you start making women look petty.
Are you frowning on that?
I am. I am frowning on it. As a woman, I am frowning on it. That your husband dies. Why didn't we put Nadu when Mills died? I'm asking. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So when you start that, what we're doing is we are trying to bring another structure that is going to disorganize our already muddied waters of ethnicity. You understand? The woman is capable. I have no doubts in my mind that she's very capable. That if she stood on her own, she would make it. Are you getting me? I do not want to see her go into parliament on the back of the fact that she's a widow. You understand? Yeah. Look at NPP, Ejakun's widow. Yeah. Look at how the mess she went through. I mean, look at the stresses, the trauma.
The former Ayawaso.
The former, yes, Ayawaso. The names. But she was capable. But you realize that she could not be herself because she was actually in the feet of somebody else, her husband. So I think that we should not go that way at all. This idea of, and then we had another case, MPP, of a policewoman. She only came for one term.
Central Region.
Oh, yeah, and she came for one term. We should learn from history. You understand? It isn't that the women are not capable. I said the woman, she has all the qualifications. She's very capable. If she should let somebody go, in 2028, she puts in a bid. Do you understand? She can make it. But not to the extent, and unfortunately, a Muslim woman who is in Takaba, your husband has died, there are rules and regulations in the Quran. And so for us also to look at it as Muslims and say, this, make exceptions. There is no such exceptions in the Quran, which I'm not so well versed, but which says that this is the situation. I came from a political background. I married into the army. In the army, you don't do politics. You understand? I buried my politics. It was in me. So when 31st December came, I was in it. Really, very active in Ashanti region. But I could not do politics. I had to bury it till I buried my husband before I brought myself out to do politics. You understand? There are rules and regulations governing so many things, and you go by the rules. So I would plead that for the dominant political parties, spare the women. Let them stand on their own merits. Let them not go on the back of their husbands. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't do them any good. They lose it. You get me? Yeah. And when we start from MP, we might go down, trickle down to assemblyman, then we'll climb up. Oh yes, we'll climb up to presidency. We will one day wake up and somebody will say, the wife too was very, very influential and was this, and therefore, let the wife too be. Let's not start that. So this is Africa for you. Where when it happened in Zimbabwe, the woman almost became a president after Mugabe. If cool heads hadn't moved, she was all out. Are you getting me? And these are things. I mean, if you are, but there are certain countries I can't remember offhand where a wife and a husband, they both stood. The wife was standing for president, not in Africa though, was standing for presidency. The wife too was standing for presidency. This is what we should get to. So that
I think we have two, we have parliamentarians. Doko and the husband too.
Yeah.
2024.
So you can you go on your own merits. Don't let anybody go and brush you aside. Go on your own merit. As a woman, you can be firm and then take it. And this is it. But as for the African story, the only thing I can say is that greed, the greed is just so much, the entitlement mentality, you know, and then of course the corruption that is always at the bottom there, because people want to go and feed where they have not really, I mean, it's not right. It's not right. It's just not that the time for Africa to be very democratic, I don't think. Oh, true.
I want to stretch this a little bit, because we've touched on sensitive issues on this female, you know, MPship. Is it not always the time that you have the political parties who might also want to run at the back of the fact that we want to win that seat at the back of, you know, sympathy votes? So even though maybe perhaps behind the scenes that lady may not be interested, but the urge may come from family members, from the political parties who will say, look, we don't want to lose that seat, we want to hold on to that seat, so we push you to go into it.
You know,
or for sympathy votes?
No, there's nothing like sympathy votes. NDC is strong in that constituency. Or a political party can be strong. Once you have been able to win that seat, it means that you're doing something good. You understand? Look, if he was so terrible, if the MP was so terrible, you can put their wife, she won't make it. Yeah. She won't make it.
Even though that area might be a strong, a safe zone.
That's what I'm saying. It might be a safe zone, but if she didn't, if the man didn't do well, they might have been thinking of somebody else. Oh, if this person had gone, that person would have done better. Yeah. You understand? And so, at the end of the day, you go and put their wife, and people will even be angry in their homes, and they'll decide not to go and vote. You get me? Are you sure that at that place there's no other person who has worked, probably worked all throughout these years in that constituency, also eyeing that seat, that should this person, should NASA leave, I will go. You understand? And suddenly you go and turn and tell that person, no. And we want the wife to go. You know what that breeds? No, you can imagine. You mean to tell me that there are no people there who have worked and who can also be MP? It has to be the wife because of sympathy votes. I don't think that seat is a shaky seat for the NDC. I don't think so.
But the last elections taught us something, and Karen mentioned
the last elections...
In Ghana here, there's nothing like strongholds. Anything can happen.
No, that's what I said. If the person was doing well, if the person was doing well. You see, the stronghold comes to the fact that you are doing well, and therefore you maintain the seat. Yeah. But of course, if you had a stronghold and you are not doing well, you have competition, even within your own setup. Are you getting me? You have competition. But all I am saying is, let us not make it another norm. Because like I'm saying, I fear for the future. Where one day we'll wake up and then we'll be told that, oh, because the husband has died, the wife should continue. You understand? Right. It's going to create a whole lot of problems. Maybe those who have 3 or 4 wives, what would they do? Do you get me? It will become, yes. You know, so you look at Senegal, and Senegal goes, and then 2 women, then they go, vice and president. You get me? We are just talking about this whole entitlement mentality. So let us not bring in other issues, because if assuming the wife was illiterate, what will happen? Then we'll say we'll bring the son. You get me? But I am saying that this woman, she's very qualified. And my beef is the fact that she can make it on her own, but not to go and take something that will open her up to, oh, even she, isn't it because it was sympathy votes? Well, she could have made it on her own. You get me? And once they do that, your hands are tied. All those people who are saying, pushing, let her go, they know why they are saying, let her go. You get me? So we are talking politics here. So then I ask myself, well, why is Baba Jamal coming to that constituency after having gone to Akwatia and being a high commissioner? The only thing I can say is that Baba Jamal is not a diplomat. Maybe he's not carved out for diplomatic work. He's a cadre. He has been on the grounds. That's what he knows best. That is where he really...
He's probably not enjoying.
That is where he enjoys. That's where he performs.
So he's not enjoying his current...
Yes. So maybe he feels like, no, I need to get back.
Right.
You understand? For me, I'm saying this because people have asked me. Before I came here, people were asking me what I thought. So I'm just saying it for the broader hearing that he's probably not cut for diplomatic work, you know, and then leaving all his party activities on the side because he's a grassroots man. So he would rather be here meeting with his people, campaigning, going left and right, than just go and be sitting down there and doing diplomacy. Right. So maybe that is why he has come. And all those people should be given opportunities. But at the end of it all, we need to be able to build institutions of trust. We need to be more patriotic wherever we are as Africans in our various countries. Patriotism should be the key word for all these things. The nationalism within us is what should be advising us on who to choose as leader. Not by virtue of the fact that the person is from this ethnic group or the person is from this particular small group or whatever. But that patriotic, nationalistic feeling must be in that person.
Right. I see Karen waving, so I'll come back. Auntie Kelly.
Thank you so much. And, you know, I'll start from where Auntie Rodalyn finished there. Someone came to my office, was it last week? Before I even got to know, because I wasn't really following that politics. He calls me, one of my boys, Mommy, I don't like this thing in my constituency crowd. I said, what's happening? Why should Baba Jamal be given a diplomatic position? He wants to come back. I said, what is happening? He said, he's contesting. And the wife of the man who died. I said, oh. So, and I said, okay, who and who? And he mentioned some names, though I don't know them personally. And I'm like, let's let the system work. And so as for them, the woman, so I asked, has the woman been active in the constituency? Oh, yes, she's been with the Zongo caucus. So when I saw her picture, I actually knew her because she's been very active in Greater Accra. I know her. So I was like, they should let her be. Because for me, it was a very sensitive ground. So I didn't want to go there, being a woman, being a party person and all that. So if you are not careful, somebody will just misquote you. You become an enemy. Because I've become an enemy to a lot of people in the party because of 2016. There were things I said, and they happened.
Yeah, but you see, if you're in a political party, those are some of the things that you must be ready to do. Tell the truth as it is. Yeah. You understand? And for communicators, you look at the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You understand? Like I said, over the weekend, that has been the main thing that people have been asking my opinion on. And I just felt that I had to say what my opinion was.
Yes. So I said for our diplomats, he has the right to contest, so they should let him. So he was even thinking then he has to resign or something. I said, I doubt. I don't think he has to resign to come in. Okay, so after the primaries, he either wins and stays and goes back. For me,
we've had that situation with the former lady, the former deputy
but she wasn't
ambassador
an MP.
to China. She was.
No, she wasn't. She lost that election. That's why she was made. I was down there listening to you.
She was coming back.
She won the primaries again. It was Battles. Sheila Battles, who was the MP, and she lost. She was the first time MP, and she lost to Sheila Battles in the primaries. So she was made an ambassador, deputy ambassador also. Then she came back and won this thing. So it's not the same thing.
Right.
Though. I don't want to even go in that because
so let's go to our African story.
I don't want to highlight.
Let's stay on course.
For me, Auntie, please.
I understand you, but that is where then leadership becomes very difficult. When we are members of, taken from you, you understand? You were not listening, your party. That's how come you had that problem. You understand? So maybe if somebody had come to tell you this, you may not listen, or because or because of that nobody's saying anything. You get me? But we need to be building a system where everybody has a say. Right. Once you have a card, once you vote, you must be able to talk. Are you getting me? So that if you don't feel happy about something, you should be able to voice it out, not because you hate your political party or the person, but you feel that this way is not the right way. I think this way is the better way.
No, because I asked my questions and I kept asking questions. People who come to me like they did to you. And the answers I got, you know, people too are aligned to certain people. So for them, they also have a stand.
Let's come back.
Whatever it is, we pray and we hope that things go fair and this thing. But honestly, I think when it happened 1, 2. The third one was this central region, the policewoman. I had issues with it, seriously. Because I felt that then it's like, if you're a politician and your wife too is a politician, be careful. The spouses, we should be careful because we don't know who is wishing who what. Because if I know that I can take over from Kekeli, then I should wish her evil. If anything happens, I take over from him. But for me, that's my target. It's not even about the parties, but as a spouse, it's like, I can't really think that my husband is dead fresh and I want to take over. Even property, I wouldn't want to. Look, my father has been dead this year. February will be 4 years. His property, I've never gone to any of them. But to think that my husband is there and I want to take over his position as yes.
Yes. Circumstance.
Yes. So for me,
you understand, right?
It's going to be difficult. But some people they are politicians and they are hard politicians, so it's normal. So what do I say?
Okay.
So when it comes to African continent and our mistrust in our elections, and every time we have election disputes and all that, Ghana hasn't been. Ghana has not been left out of all this. You see, globally, I think in the 90s, or it was in the 90s, we were young in school then. Then we saw this democratic thing springing up in the African continent. And for some of us, it was good. But at a point, I realized, even in Ghana, that we really do not need, or we're not ready then for democracy, because I saw that a lot of things that happened under military rule, they were able to do a lot of things without having to go to parliament and all that, and they did good. But with democracy, this person feels that I'm entitled, like Auntie said, to this and that. I was with the minister, we went to Accra Central, and I was a regional minister. I was saying that where you people, where the pedestrians are supposed to use, that is where you have your wares selling. And now I'm saying today, and people thought that I was being rude. Now I'm saying today, I didn't see a hole. Because to Abama, so we force away NDC in our to Abama NDC. You should do good things because you want your party to stay in power for long. If things are not done properly, why would you expect that people will vote for your party? Like my sister said, a whole lot of things happened in the 8 years that made people give the NDC this victory, a massive one. And made the look, it's something that I'm sure the people will never forget in a hurry. This defeat in 2024, because a lot of things went on wrong, and they felt that party people, this is family, this is friends, and the ordinary Ghanaian was suffering. But we have people enjoying when this party was in power. Why should it be so? I've been telling people that as NDC sitting here, if I park my car here and I know it is wrong, I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it because I'm expected to make sure that my party does well. If I'm in an office and I see something wrong as NDC, am I not supposed to speak about it? But people feel that I didn't know NDC near who good party and now person who good party no. Because you think people are not watching, people don't see, people are just quiet. Look, no matter harsh a decision or a policy will be, if it's in the interest of the nation, the ordinary Ghanaian will love it. Why did people vote because of oral? because they felt that a lot of things did not go on well. Our monies went away. People took things that they were not supposed to take. They touched things they shouldn't. They did things they are not supposed to do. Why would somebody be in another man's country as we speak and wouldn't want to come to his own country? When now your name has even changed, you have a code, a number as a name. They can't even look, a title of former minister is not there. When in your own country, you can even, no matter what happens, you are in court, they will still give you that your title. But because of wrong or perception, you decided to run away from your own country and change everything. You prefer to be in custody in somebody's country than coming to your home that if by now things have gone well, you will be sleeping in your home and maybe going to court. So some of these things, we shouldn't, as even a ruling party, we shouldn't be doing those things. Look, I have most of the appointees that I admire so much. One of them is Edwidzi Tamaklo. That man, I'm not saying he's a perfect man, but these are people who wants to fight for the party, who wants to make sure that whatever role I'm giving, next time when I'm called to account, I don't have to be running away. I don't have to be hiding my head. And I think his first year, today is his first year in office. Congratulations to him and his entire team. They've done well. In Africa, a whole lot of, one thing is mistrust by political parties and the voters for the EC. You know, when we are going to an election, the EC is always in trouble. Because one way or the other, there are a lot of things they do not do right. Look at, was it 2020? We were forced to go into a registration 2 months to an election. So, Electoral Commission has been one body that has been a problem for African elections. So, if that body can be independent, devoid of the party in power or whatever, we know that no matter what, at a point in time, a political party will bring an electoral commission, because whatever it is, things happen. People might resign, people might go on pension and all that. There are bodies you can't touch, like the CJ and all those things. But it will be a government or a party in power that will bring those people. But it doesn't mean that your allegiance should be to those party people or to the government. It is to the nation. And the electoral commission, or the electoral commission of all the countries in Africa, why is it that white people have elections and we don't have issues? We know those things, but they are minimal.
No, it's the system, the technology, and the system that is put in place. You hardly hear of people going to queue up long queues to vote.
No.
Right.
Because of the system.
Right.
Why do people go to vote through the posts? In other ways, I went and shall I say, on a workshop, Labour Party, and they were doing elections. And I was sitting and people were voting. I mean, you could see the numbers changing. Yeah. You could see the numbers changing. And I'm asking myself, why can't we do this in Ghana? Like,
because we have people who believe that kinky and fish is better than technological advancement.
So at the end of it, it's the fact that we have not put the systems in place, and we are also skewed. A lot of us, look, one of the people told me, Labour people told me that, look, there was one time they knew that in this house, in this address, there were just about this number of people there. Yet when the votings, the leaflets or whatever they call them, when it came, they were more than 3 times, 10 times more. When they went, who are they? Ghanaians.
So that tells you,
That tells you the whole thing. We are not just honest.
Please land on that for me. Don't do our IPP stuff.
No, I mean, you see, but I'm not one here.
So you see,
we like to cheat too much.
When it comes to election, that's why I'm using them. At least, there should, even if we have to queue, must we always queue to go and register to vote? And it's like a whole party will have to take a 1 week off just to make sure that people get registered. Why should it be so? Things should be done properly. And I think that
another day to discuss this.
Yes. Seriously. Seriously. And it's like transparency is one of the issues. When they are doing their things, it's like, how can EC machines be moving at the ducks of that? Oh no, I'm not speaking about this, so let me speak.
My time.
So As for the time, we are here because of the time.
So we have other issues to look at. So I want you to land on this one.
No, I can't land. Let me finish.
Please land.
Let me finish. So you see, the election violence too is one of the things. If you have vigilante groups and all that, everybody is going to make sure that we are supposed to be vigilant when it comes to 2024. We were vigilant. Did we see any vigilante group?
Oh yes, we did.
The political parties, we didn't see one. Political parties were very vigilant. At least when we get people who say we voted, we didn't see it again because it was one man, one vote, and it happened as it should be. Right. And so that fears presidential and parliamentary this is that bring about this vigilante, the violence, and this. At least though we saw. It's 2020 that happened, that we saw most killings. 2024, did we? There wasn't. It was low. So at least we moved from that because a party decided this time we are not going to sleep. This I beg you, I'm coming. This time we are going to make sure that we are vigilant. Right. And cost of election in Africa too is one of these issues. Right. The cost, a party in power can intentionally, because we want to throw the smaller parties away, make sure that I'm going to make sure that this opposition party is in some corner, then they increase cost of even filing. And so a lot of people are not able to even file. So how do you expect people to be happy? So, like Auntie said, I know this one will really need time to speak if it's only that. Because whatever it is, it affects us as Ghanaians, as Africans, and we are also part of all this. So please, let's make time for the African thing that we narrow it down to.
That's why I've extended my time for the African story. Whereas I'm eating really.
It's like my two sisters, so more than me. It's become the Ghanaian story. That's the thing.
Right, okay. So it's all intertwined with politics.
Yeah.
So that's what
I've East African issues, South African issues, they are not
so let's look at another story. We want to look at the NPP. They are going into an election over the weekend, Saturday, to choose a new flag bearer for the party. A lot of questions are being asked. What happens after whoever becomes the flag bearer? People think that is being skewed towards the part of the former vice president. So the question is, what happens, after Saturday? Looking at the current reported tensions, within the party itself that has led to internal cracks. You can't run away from that. Because at the Alisa conference, I call it the Alisa conference, your own party people described that, in fact, the minority leader described that as an internal sabotage in the NPP. So there's a lot going on within the party. I don't know where you stand, when it comes to the flag bearership race. The former vice president, is now tipped to be in the lead, 57%. What is happening in the NPP with some few days to the elections?
With a few days to the elections, I, as a patriot, know that my fellow patriots and delegates are going to do the right thing because we as a party want to come back into power. And it starts from making the right decision by choosing the right flag bearer. Of all the 5 qualified candidates in their own rights, my support has always and will always be for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And
you've taken a stance?
Yes, I have a stance.
Is it for the group?
It's not for the group, it's my personal stance.
Most of you are for him.
It doesn't matter. There are people, leaders within the group who are for other candidates. But that should tell you how beautiful democracy is, how open we are, and we are not shy or afraid to support who we want to. But back to the story. My support is for him because he's tried and tested. That's one. And regardless of whatever cracks are in the party, I believe that after the 31st, we as patriots will come together and work towards the collective goal, which is to come back into power in 2028. Elections happen. The seat is vacant, so it's open for any and everybody who is qualified to contest and attempt to win. But as a party, we also need to, or we are also looking at the fact that we need to present the right person with the right optics, with the temperament or the season that tells us who we should present. And as a party, I believe that on the 31st, we are going to do the right thing. And come what may, the MPP will be fine. We will always be fine. and that is the collective goal as at this point. Get our flag bearer, resolve our internal issues, and face the administration in power, because there are lots of things that we need to talk about. There are lots of things we need to hold them accountable for. And so, first and foremost, let's get our house in order, and then we can face the administration in power and do what Ghanaians expect of any and every opposition party, which is to keep the government on their toes, keep their promises, keep their word, perform, do the job that they've been elected to do.
But the processes leading to the final point has been questioned by, you know, governance experts especially, who think that the processes leading to the final end, which is the contest, has not been good. They talked about you building the house from the top to the down. That's one example. Others think that, you know, the entire part has been skewed towards one candidate, you know, just to shy away from certain accountability issues and stuff. You look at the internal sabotaging, you know, that is currently happening, because your own party people have called it that way. Is there a way out, you know, after Saturday? Obviously somebody will win, right? But how is the way out?
There's a way out. I believe that as a politician, if you truly are aligned with the party and believe in the ideals of the party, and you follow the instructions or the processes that the party has laid out, one being the Peace Pact, you have given your word that come what may, I will throw my support behind whoever wins. My support will go towards the party and that candidate. I believe that the first and foremost trait as a leader is honesty and keeping to your word. So once all 5 aspirants have signed that document and given their word, the belief is that they are going to keep that word. And so after 31st, like I said earlier, we will be fine. We will come together and all of that. And with the processes that have been laid out, obviously, each candidate has some grievances here and there. But in life, you don't get all that you want all the time. You win some, you lose some. But regardless of whatever measures that have been put in place that a candidate or a person does not feel happy with, you still need to embrace it, because that is the decision of the party, and the party is bigger than any individual. It's bigger than any personal interest or any personal entitlement of any individual within the party. The collective is always much more important than a personal opinion or personal want or gain from whatever processes that have been laid out. So the party will be fine. We will work and seal those cracks. We would work with what we have given. Life can throw you lemons and you can decide what to do with them. You work with what we have. This is the system that has been laid out. And I know that the chairperson of the Presidential Election Committee has said that they've done a good job. They've done what is expected of them. All that is left is for the rest of us to toe the line, make sure that the processes that have been laid out are followed. And that even regardless of whatever results that may come out, whether your candidate wins or not, you accept them and we move on, because the elephant is what is important.
I just want to find out, so after Saturday, and let's say your candidate wins, so to speak, what happens next? Are we going from what you see within the party setup? Are we entering into a campaign mode?
Of course.
For the NPP?
Yes.
You don't think that is worrying?
It's not worrying.
Right.
It's not worrying because we need to start the process of rebuilding our party, regaining the trust of the Ghanaian electorate. And so the work starts right after the 31st. Continue to sell our candidates. Hopefully, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wins, and that gives us a leg up. We just continue to build from the foundation that we already have. If another candidate wins, the work starts that day, because we still have to work to market that candidate to the Ghanaian electorate. So yes, straight into campaign mode. And campaign mode also includes holding the NDC accountable. That is also a campaign strategy or structure. Holding them accountable. So yes, right from the 31st, no sleep, no rest, until the MPP is back in power in 2028.
Are you ready for power?
Yes, we are.
Any lessons learned?
Lessons have been learned. Like I said earlier,
You gave me one.
And I can even mention an example when Auntie Rodelyn mentioned bringing in the wives of deceased MPs and all of that. The MPP has learned from that. We saw that in the Akwetia by-elections. For the first time, we did not push...
You brought the woman.
We didn't bring the woman. That's why I said we learned, we listened, we learned.
You wanted to do it,
No, we didn't. As a party, we didn't. We didn't want to do it. The party collectively selected a capable candidate to represent us. So that should tell you that we are listening. We are learning from our mistakes. And so those lessons that have been learned and we are working on will surely bring us back into power.
Your observers and those on the opposite divide thinks that, and even look, when you sit back, and it's quite obvious, you see what is happening in the NPP. You see the divisions, you know, the houses, the different houses that have been built within your party. And it raises questions, you know, as whether you will have enough time, you know, between now and 2028 to rebuild. You know, I'm being positive, I'm looking at the way forward. Because definitely Saturday will come and go.
Yes.
And then what next? How do you deal? You know, you talk about the peace pact. We've heard reports of what even happened in the room, you know, during the signing process. You know, those who wanted to oppose the whole thing, and those who have come out, you know, to even question that. It looks like people have taken an entrenched decision. I've heard of, you know, plans, you know, to even walk out of the party. And the composure and posture of some of the leadership, the executives, doesn't really help, you know. So let's look at all this. How do you deal with that? And you think that the Ghanaian populace is ready for the NPP?
Yes, I mean, we have a lot of time between now to 2028. And unfortunately, in the last election cycle, we did our flag bearership elections quite late. So we didn't have enough time to resolve issues and then campaign at the same time. And that is why the early elections has come in such a manner that we finish with this and then we have enough time to resolve any issues that may come after the elections and then go into 2028 as one party. You talked about, you've heard that there are plans of walkout and everything. Like I said, the elephant will be fine. True patriots will stand and fight for the party, regardless of if their candidate wins or not. Because like I said, the party is bigger than any individual. And so it is the interest of the party that is paramount. Regardless of who wins, true patriots will remain in the family. The houses that have been built will become a compound house. We will become a family. We will all live and work together towards 2028. I have no doubt that as a party we will be fine. I have no doubt that as a party we will work together because, like I said, my personal interest, another patriot's personal interest, do not supersede that of the collective, the bigger party. We are looking at the bigger picture. We are looking at the future. So I'll reiterate this. The elephant will be fine. The MPP will be fine. And I have no doubt that this is going to happen.
Auntie, yes. Your friends are going to an election on Saturday.
I wish them well. I've spoken extensively about this MPP thing. A house that they start building from the top before going to the foundation. For me, it has collapsed already. But we wish that there won't be violence, there won't be any chaos, anarchy, and like she's promising, everything will go fine. I don't know if you have a vote. Or you are an agent for Dr. Bawumia, because one of my friends is an agent for him. So I don't know, whoever wins, omufi asama, so mundu omufi asama. But we just pray that it won't be nasty and it affects people who are not party or families, because no matter what, we all belong to families and friends and all that. I can't see Karen get hurt. I will not visit. Even that time in my small resources, it's something. So we pray that, Karen, advise your people. Though you people want Dr. Bawumia, you are one family. This is not a monarchy that because he was vice by all means he should be a president. Maybe he's more prepared for it. Fine. We wish whoever comes, whoever wins the elections, you people will rally behind and shouldn't be like, you are sitting here talking nicely. I know what a lot of people have said. That if Dr. Bawumia doesn't win, you be who what to say, and they are even waiting for Dr. Bawumia to win. And they will unleash insults on other candidates. And we know the people they are targeting. So please, after elections, there's no campaign. Just like you people want to do. This whole election, when we finish, you are coming to hold us accountable. Who has opened election portal for you people to go on campaign?
Nobody has. But
So
you have a duty as an opposition party.
you have a duty to make sure that when the wrong thing is happening, you talk about it, but not to start campaigning like you want to tell Ghanaians. It's not a season for campaign. So that campaign mode, you know, teaching from a woman.
They be entering
Now,
free.
we are going to build Ghana. You are telling us that you are going to campaign, and I'm telling you the campaign season is not yet.
It is a campaign strategy.
Oh.
Holding you accountable.
Oh.
You promise.
Forget what did you do? As for that one, we don't even want to go into that way, because when we start right now, we won't finish. Ghanaians gave you a clear and a resounding answer to all the 8 years you said you did best for us. They told you, and you have it on your plate. So that one, I leave it for you. But please, make sure that whatever is happening in this country, when you see red, it should be that red that you have in your colors. It should not be wine. And when you see blue, it should be your blue and not sea blue. It should be, we beg you, so that at the end, that wahala you people will have. Sit home now, come down home. You people should make sure you resolve all your issues. Then they say
Both parties, they didn't learn from us. They didn't learn from us.
I'm telling you, when I
They did not learn from us.
From 17 years.
They did not learn from us.
So I know what I inherited and what our people took from you.
They did not learn that from us, please.
Bad things bear for you MPP.
There
So
be that.
this time,
There
don't
be
go
that.
into this election.
There be
Bring
that.
in, trying anything, wahala. But
There be
hope,
that.
like I said, whoever will win, bring the people, the others together. So we are begging you. We are joking about things, but we are serious about it too, so that we have peace as people. We are one people. We are Ghanaians, and this is a opportunity for the MPP to prove Ghanaians wrong, because the perception out there is not good for a big opposition like them.
It's done and dusted. The whole country goes into a campaign, mode. And yesterday, the minority in Parliament gave that indication through their press conference. I wanted to tie those two issues
Please,
together.
can I say something before? 1 second. This widow thing, she said something. This particular widow thing, we did not ask her. She decided to do it. She decided to do it by her. So it won't be like the NDC is asking the widow. Yeah, the widow to contest. We beg people. NDC has no hand in it. That's why we are quiet about it, because it's a personal thing. She qualifies for it, so you can't say A, B, or C. Right. So we are begging Ghanaians. It is not NDC. Well, somebody has sent me a message. Right? It is not NDC that is asking the woman to go and contest. It's not the party. It is her own decision to make, and she made it.
Anyway, MPP going into an election, I wish that the whole lot of, is it 200 and something thousand? How many are going into that? 11,000. I wish they could all go in that election and vote for Kwabena Agyapong. Kwabena Agyapong. Yes. He's a fine gentleman, looks like a unifier, sounds like one. Because anybody else, you people are going to have a hell of a competition and an election. You see, me, I'm from the CPP. 2 days ago, I was watching some clips on when they were going for the meeting. I saw Honorable Hackman Owusa Agyemang. I saw Honorable Adukufo. Yeah. I saw Honorable Henry Quartey. I saw Honorable Mike, former Speaker, Michael Quay. I saw those people, and I just sat there and I burst out laughing. I said, MPP, clap for yourself. It was always the CPP is the one with the old people, the old men. Suddenly, I look at the leadership of the MPP, and they are all old men. Some are being held, some cannot walk. We have buried our dead, most of them. So our young people have started. Our youth wing has length. So they've started from the grassroots now, starting right from the youth wing. They are the ones who are now trying to build together a formidable future CPP, and we will support them as much as we can. So starting a political party election from the top is a novel idea for us in this country. And I am yet to see how that is going to work. You see, the excitement that goes with electing a flag bearer was lost. It was lost. It didn't carry, I mean, like, even though they are going to go yet, but that discussion, it wasn't so vibrant. Because usually you go from the polling station, then you go to the constituencies, you go to regional, and the momentum is rising. By the time you get to national, it's high there. Suddenly, you are starting from the top. So all those that are at the bottom right now are finding their positions. And you are aligning, they are actually aligning with the 5 candidates. So you see that there's a lot of infighting. Now, if you're not careful, it will not be very easy to manage that infighting. It would have been easier if you had started from the bottom, up approach, then you would have been able to at least get a group of people. These are the people that have been elected, whether you are a Japan, you are who and who, these are the MPP people that are representing the party. They wouldn't even go and talk to anybody else. They are just representing the party. But in this instance, they are there representing other people within the party. And then they are trading insults. And some of them have gotten so personal. As Africans, it is very difficult for us to remove that from our minds. So you get people at the end of the day coming out and saying, okay, if Bawumia wins, I'm not going to do anything. I'll just sit back and watch. And we saw that. It was part of the apathetic display that brought your party into opposition, or the MPP into opposition. Because at the end of the day, there was no leadership. I don't know who your party chairman is right now. Who is the party chairman? Intim is not well, so... Who?
Chairman Bute is the one acting.
So first, an acting
an acting chairman that we don't hear anything about. You understand? I mean, NPP used to be that party that you know everybody. Dambocho was there, you knew who was there, you know, that kind of thing. Suddenly, you have decided that the flag bearership is more important. That's a personal person. The party is the issue. The party must have its executives in place, and the executives must be strong. If you're looking at NDC, it's as you do General, when he speaks, everybody toes in line. That's how it is. That is for the African way of doing politics. It's the party. You understand? So when I hear people say, when John Mahama goes, when His Excellency John Mahama goes, there will be a new person. It is the NDC government, through John Mahama, that are doing all the things that are being done. It is not John Mahama himself, but he's representing a party. Do you get me? So this whole idea of we will bring Bawumia because he has His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia because he has been vice president before, he knows that this, but he was rejected. And I felt that because of where you had come from, because of lessons learned, because of all the things that had happened, instead of rushing into an election, you would have sat down as family, gone from polling station to polling station, region to region, met with the people, met with all your party, like most of your party foot soldiers and those that drive your party, you know, to a form of agreement on the fact that this is what went wrong. We didn't do well here, and so we are sorry. If you had started building from there, you would have had new people, new ideas, great strategies coming from below there, building up to whoever is going to be your flag bearer. And maybe at that stage, the flag bearership race, then, by that time, you would have built bridges. You would have built bridges amongst all the 5 people. You might even have had just maybe 3. Are you getting me? Some people did not come in because of how much they had to pay. It was so much, some people couldn't afford to pay, especially if you are in opposition and you bring other kind of money, you are not sure. 8 years is solid, guaranteed for the NDC. It's guaranteed for the NDC. You understand? So after 8 years, that is where the fight really begins. So if I had an opportunity to advise Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia at that time, I would have told him, take a bite and go home. Go and rest for the 4 years of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It would be a learning process for you, because coming into this election is just business as usual. The same old people around you, the same ideas they are giving you, they are meeting with the same people again. Me and my father was in politics for a very long time, so I know those who come and stand at the junction and change from one T-shirt to another T-shirt. You understand? I've seen it all. So I am just saying that if I had the opportunity, I would have told him to have gone to rest. Just like His Excellency JDM had 8 years to go home, sit, strategize, now understand exactly what the Ghanaian wanted.
In that instant, he was losing.
No.
Exactly. Because he was winning in the 8 years. He lost. He went through and then he lost.
Yeah, but no. That's what I'm saying. But it's a learning process. And I'm saying he lost. And he went and then he went and did what? Reflected. Bawumia stood. He didn't become president, but he lost terribly. And he should have gone back to say, why did I lose so badly? So badly. And also, he campaigned on the back of Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. And the repercussions is what you got. You get
now, I'll give you the chance
you
to
get
read
opportunity.
that.
The repercussion, for me, my vote, me, the COSAG vote, all of us, 0 for Bawumia. That one I've told you already on this stand. So don't go into that one, let me tell you. So
Karen, I'll give you
whether it's 700,000, it's 500,000, it's 300,000, we have to COSAG vote out. So that one is out. So the rest of it is, I am saying that the NPP should have taken some more time to strategize, to jaw with people. It's not a question of going to stand somewhere and say we are sorry for what we did. No, that doesn't count well. It is for you to be able to meet the people and then do things differently. But the difference is not there because we are seeing them trading insults instead of trading ideas. I would have wished for somebody to say, this is how I'm going to run the party, and not go and say that maybe. And you see, there is this thing about, I don't know, it's, social media is different from when maybe you would tell me that that is not what he said. You understand? Because social media, lots of things come out. But this issue of, we'll have a data of MPP people, and they will be the ones to be giving jobs and things. It's no for a country that we are building. Are you getting me? The NDC is trying to be all-inclusive. So if you come and you are now trying to be divisive, you will lose a lot more of your people into another party. You understand? Foot soldiers will do the work, and they can see, they are now hearing all sorts of things. Apart from that, you see the floating voters, they make up the numbers. If you look at your membership drive, you will see names there. They are the only ones that you can count as your members. The rest of the people on the streets are floating voters. So they are listening to all those things. So even if NDC, which had over, 1 million plus votes over you, if there are people who are disgruntled, they will just sit back and say, no, we are not going there. We might as well stay here. Because it's only going to be MPP people who will benefit Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia presidency. Right. You get me? So, and I'm looking at Kennedy at Japan. He's talking. He will do that, he will do that, Unfortunately, I think that it's a bit too late for Kennedy, somehow. They're younger people. If you look down there, I think all of them are younger than him. He's about the oldest one. So Ghanaians are looking now more for younger people. That is the only thing that I would say that is against Kennedy. He's worked so hard. When a person works so hard, you get, it gets to a certain time, you're just tired. You understand? He's been preaching certain things that are not being taken by the party. So it looks like it's a cracked record now that he's playing. It's the same thing, since nobody's understanding him. You get me? Right. But he's the only one that I can see who's also a competition for Mahmoud Bawumia. So I wish the MPP well. It's going to be something that we'll all learn from as politicians, because at the end of the day, this is the first time we are seeing top to bottom instead of, it's always a bottom-up approach. This is now a top approach. So we put the roof on before. I've seen people build those kinds of houses, you know. But then you see those kinds of houses that I have seen, the foundation is always very strong. So when they put up the roofs, the pillars, and they put up the roof, then they start putting the concrete around it. But in this case, the MPP as it stands now, the foundation is wobbly, you know, and they should have done something about the foundation before deciding to start from the rooftop. But we hope that they have a very smooth election. We don't want any violence, because at the end of the day, like she says, they want to be together as one. And you see, when a party has cracked before, like the PNP era, where UNC cracked from the PFP, then you know that there's always room for a crack. There's always room for a crack. Historically, there's always room for a crack. So if you don't handle the situation well, and you knowing very well that you as a party person, when your person becomes flag bearer, you are not going to trust 90%, 80% someone coming from the other side into your fold. You understand? You know very well that resources will not be going to those places. Resources, we are all politicians. Let's say it as it is. Resources will be coming to those who backed Bawumia, and then, you know, to look at the other people. And people will just go and sit at home. We'll go and sit at home. So the whole thing is that it's not going to be a business as usual. It's going to be a tough fight, and then come the rest of the elections for the regional, constituency, national, is going to be even worse than the flag bearership. The insults.
I see. Karen, you are itching.
Yes,
yeah, it's itching.
A number of things have been said that I would like
to correct, and so that our viewers do not take that into their minds and run with it. The first thing is the top-down approach. You mentioned polling station elections, then to the constituency and everything. Currently, we run a 4-year cycle for those positions. So we do not want to disenfranchise them by not letting them finish their full term, by making them go again to go and vote, start that process before we get to the flag bearer position. And that's one reason we are starting from the top, because the base is already there. The foundation is already there. They are within their term. They voted in the last elections. So why can't they vote in these elections? That's number one. Number two, you spoke about cracks and everything, and resources not going to certain places and everything. I can categorically tell you that should any of the candidates that are presented themselves win, that is not going to happen. I personally believe in my boss, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's a unifier. We saw it on the thank you tour. He brought everybody on board.
But the thank you tour ended abruptly.
Not because of him, because somebody else decided to behave the way he behaved. But he brought everybody on board. When have you ever seen a candidate bring all his contenders together to go on a thank you tour? It has never happened before, but he did it. That aside, you spoke about...
It's not as if it was successful.
It wasn't successful, but there was an attempt. And that alone should tell you that we are looking more at being unified as a party than to continue to drive the wedge deeper.
Mistrust.
It doesn't show mistrust. If you contest me in an election and I win, and I still bring you on board, come with me. There are still people who believed in the MPP and voted for the MPP. So come with me. Let's go and express our gratitude to those people. Does that show mistrust to you?
If he didn't succeed,
but the response gives a different view that, look, maybe perhaps he didn't do his homework well.
Yes, you should.
It's not about not doing. If he did his homework well by bringing them on board, because we are talking about the party being divided. You make a step. It doesn't happen
Maybe it was
overnight.
just
We are acting like
for the cameras, just to show some leadership force.
no, it's never for the cameras. His honesty, his humility as a person has never been performative. It is his true nature.
Please let her land.
It has never been performative. It is his true nature. And that is why, regardless of the words people say about him, the descriptions people give him, he has still remained silent in all of that.
Let me ask you this question. About bringing in the other contenders. Did he go to visit them individually?
They have met.
Individually, in their homes?
They have met.
No, I'm only asking, do you know anything like that?
I wouldn't know. And I can't speak to that because I don't know.
When I know at least for a fact that when the NDC had a problem and with the MPs, what do you call it, Haruna Idrisu and Mutaka, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at that time, in opposition, went to their homes to go and have a conversation, so that at least you go there and cement the relationship. And I'm asking, did he do that, or did he just sit and say that, okay, we have met the usual official? You see,
you expect that because that's how you think it should be done. But what you want is not necessarily what should be done. As I'm here, or as we are all here, we don't know what has gone on behind closed doors. So you cannot say that.
I was asking you,
and that's why I said I don't know, and I cannot speak to it. But don't assume that hasn't been done. His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo has called all of them to his home. He was our former flag bearer and eventually won the election on our ticket. He has made that effort. Are you trying to say that doesn't mean anything?
It doesn't mean a lot.
It means a lot, and that's to you. That's to you, but it means, let me land, please. It means a lot to us in the can I please land, please? It means a lot to us in the MPP. It shows that we as patriots are very much concerned about our party and want to rebuild. So any and everybody making an effort to that rebuilding process, we have to commend that person. You cannot sit here and say because somebody didn't go to somebody's home, there hasn't been a conversation, there haven't been efforts made to try and cement the cracks. Because you want it done that way doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be done that way. You are not an MPP member to tell us what we should do and how we should do it.
No, don't go there.
I know, but you see,
we visit homes to go and talk about
come on, please, ladies. I'm saying that, and I'm reiterating, what you think or assume should be done and hasn't been done in your opinion doesn't mean that we haven't made the effort. We are rebuilding as a party. We are working towards it. So don't sit here and say that because somebody hasn't gone to somebody's home, nothing has been done or it doesn't mean anything. That's an insult to our party. And I will not allow that. And I will not allow that.
Please.
Moving on.
Please.
Moving on to our next point. She made mention about John Mahama going home to wait for 8 years and everything. Let's be honest. The 8-year cycle is what Ghanaians are known for. He had no choice. He had to go home. Happy that he went and learned from his mistakes, and he has come back. We are in that process. We are learning. You are acting as though the lessons have to be learned overnight. We have time, and we have to pace ourselves to make sure that we are not driving the wedges even deeper. We have time and the patience to make sure that the collective comes out supreme, and that is what we are working on. Eventually, now with the current dynamics that we have, John Mahama has come back, he cannot go again. So obviously, it changes the dynamics slightly. So with the change of the dynamics, strategies have to what? Change. And that is what every party is working towards. That is what every party is working towards. So saying that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should go and sit down, learn from his mistakes and everything, we are learning. But he still has the chance to come back and contest, which is why he's contesting. The lessons that have been learned, which I've mentioned earlier on in this program, we've learned the lessons, we are working towards them. Obviously, we can't expose everything to the public, but we are working. You don't sit here and say we are not going down to the polling stations to have conversations with them. You don't know what's going on beyond at the back door.
No, listen.
I wanted to land. I wanted to land. Then you come. I wanted to land.
Exception to you. Don't sit here. Because we started.
I wanted to say.
Friendly notice.
Right.
Certain languages are not
language. Language is something else. If I wanted to go that way, we wouldn't have.
We've been doing this thing over the years, so just calm down.
When I meet other people, I will not hesitate to say that. Right. But I have not used that. I never used that even when she was making her own statements. So I don't expect her to use that statement. You don't sit there.
I also take exceptions to some of the pronouncements she made on my party.
Oh.
And that is what I will stand my ground. I also take. That's one. That's your choice. No problem. You see, you talked about tribalism, nationalism, and all of this, and then you make such a statement. And you don't expect me to take exception. No.
Can we just proceed?
I also take exception. So if you have taken exception, all well and good. I can say sorry if that's what you please. But I also have exception to some of the statements that you've made. So if I say don't sit here and say some of these things, those are not fair. Those are statements of fact for you, and that's also a statement of fact for me. I take exception. I will not allow you to speak about my party like that, or individuals in my party like that, regardless of who I support. I will not allow it. I will not allow it. No problem. Right. That's your choice. And thankfully, you're not a delegate. Thankfully, you're not a delegate. So the true patriotic delegates will choose who they want to vote for. And hopefully, I hope that it is His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When it comes to the point where we have to present him to the Ghanaians, even NDC was able to package His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So what are you talking about?
It wasn't packaged. He wasn't packaged.
What are you talking about?
Your language is
what are you talking about?
Was it on?
What are you talking about?
Was it packaged or was it on? No, I'm just.
Let's keep it.
No, we are keeping it civil, and we are keeping it cordial. You understand what I'm saying? We are keeping it civil. We are keeping it cordial, and we are just deliberating on issues that fall out after such situations. And I said that keeping them together. There have been cracks before. And those cracks, I said, happened during the Pawele issue. You understand? PFP, then we had the UNC. You understand? So you cannot even say that maybe after this there will be no fallout or there will be no cracks. You understand? At the end of the day, human relations, even with each other, the insults, you know, it even went personal. All the funny things. How you are going to be able to even mend those is another thing. You understand? So when you are talking about it, we don't see it looking like it's going to be so smooth that everybody will just fall in line. You remember that there's a united party that is also open out there. You understand? Where other people who are disgruntled, who feel that they cannot fit into any of those, can also go to the united party of Alan Tremating. You understand? Already, we have seen people also trimming into the NDC. You get me? So it is not just going to be so smooth riding. So let us know that there will by all means be some form of negotiations, some for coercion, some form of whatever. But we pray that they will have a smooth election, primaries, they will come out with their flag bearer, and then their party members can vote for them when it comes to the time. Because for me, I think that any party that is going to elect a leader must elect a leader that Ghanaians will feel happy to vote for. Because at the end of the day, floating voters are more than registered voters of any political party. And they are the ones that make up the numbers. So that you don't go and take somebody that you think your party likes and to hell with the rest of the people. You understand? That is why when I sat here, I said, I wish they could vote for Mr. Japan, because he looks... No, you don't hear him talking much. You don't hear people, you know, insulting him or that kind of thing. And he seems to be the cool-headed person. Unlike maybe the Bawumia, the Kennedy Japan, and Brian Champon camp, where they are always trading insults and trading words, or their followers are always trading and all those things. That will bring some form of rancor and whatever. But with this guy, he's always been cool. So I said, I wish that they would just put everything down and just follow this person, and then that would be it. I remember also that I think when everybody else, during the last elections, where Alan Chiramati left off. Governor Japan was magnanimous enough to join in the campaign. You understand? And for me, I felt that this person had a good heart. You know, he had a good heart, he had a good love for the party, and that was how come he was there. So these are some of the things.
Right. What I'll do the final wrap-up, you wanted to jump in?
No, not to
okay,
really
so let's do our
jump in.
final wrap-up.
I felt that my sister, this is the first time I'm meeting her.
Please.
No, it's a friendly one.
No,
we started on a
here.
friendly note. We started as sisters, so certain languages, maybe this is her first time, but there are languages we don't use on air, because there are things you say, you see me, you can't even look into my face. And most of your people, we are friends. It's not most, every person we have met on air, we are friends.
Let's drop this.
I want us not to live here with certain things.
Right.
Everybody. I think it's only one lady, and since then I've not.
But let's drop the personal. Let's
No,
let's
it's
let's
not.
do
No,
this.
but that's not.
I know. I get it.
Windows are the things that
Yes, I get it.
become.
But you
I'm
see,
deal with that.
this party thing, it's because last week I said a lot. That's why this week I didn't even want to go much into it. I spoke about this.
I said I'm not even talking
approach,
about it.
which has never happened in any of the parties in this country before. And like I said last week, who builds a house and starts on a roof and not a foundation? Even the Bible talks about foundations being strong when you are building. So sometimes when these things come up, they are not palatable. We were in this car for 8 years. When even we were in opposition, they were still insulting JDM, the president. They were still insulting him. We never fought anybody. At a point we correct them. So we should have a big heart when things are being said about us. We even in government. Me, I've always said that I would love people to tell us when we are wrong, rather than praising us maybe because of friendship, because of this and all that. When we are wrong as a people.
Okay.
Nobody builds a house from the top.
Right.
Everybody starts from a foundation, and that is what. So what was stopping them to wait for their people to run their full term before they go into an election? Nobody does that.
I need to
because they know that the people at the roots are not happy with a candidate they want to put on the neck of the people of the MPP. So they have to start from the top. Because the old people who voted then are the same people there. So they'll come and vote for the same person.
Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, look, if my sister said they have learned from not listening to people, then this one, they didn't listen to people. Because every MPP person down there that you speak to, they know they are not happy about, they wish they said they were delegates. But the time to wait for them to become delegates and vote for the flag bearer they also want, it's not there. They are going to bring you the flag bearer. Before they bring you, they come to police station, executive,
police station.
before constituency, region and national. So we are begging them. We love them as a party. They are our friends, our husbands, our everything. We are Ghanaians. That's the most important thing. Right. And so when they are doing anything, we think, say, yes, I can't bring me a car. So let somebody slap you. How come your nose start running? How come your eye is tearing? It's because they are all connected. We are one people. So nobody should take it personal. It's for the good of all of us.
For the opportunity, I would like to wish all NPP sympathizers and patriots as well in Saturday's elections. To the delegates, do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Would you want to use the opportunity to retract some things?
No, I will not.
You want to stand by it?
No, I stand by my
Okay.
words.
Auntie Rosalie.
Well, I hope that the best person wins. I hope that the delegates will be looking for someone that will be presented to Ghanaians to vote for and will be acceptable by all Ghanaians.
Right.
We are all one people, and we need a strong opposition. And so whatever happens on Saturday, we pray that the country will still have peace.
Right.
We will not need to deploy any security people anywhere to calm down nerves, and they should go in there as one family.
Right.
Which they are.
Okay. Let me quickly do some messages and see how our viewers are reacting. This one on Facebook is coming from Baba Salifu. It says, I like the way the lawyer lady keeps stressing patriotic and wondering what she makes of their last 8 years of governance. Was it patriotic? That's from Baba Salifu. Nana Equia writes, there's no one way of doing things. Let's wait and see how things roll out. I really believe in this approach. I believe that's got to do with the top-down. And then Giftiteria is happy with Karen. Says, great submissions, Karen. And then Melissa also writes, a very good presentation, Director Karen. Says, more fire. And then Rami Kafil Al-Hassan says, my mama, Rodlin Imuru, is on fire this morning. Mom, cool down for them. They know what they do. Alaji Haruna writes from Ashaima. He says, good morning. I think Baba Jamal is not happy with the position given him by the president. That's why he wants to be in parliament. If not so, why? I can't bet my last peswa that Baba Jamal will not win that seat. Gloria Omari writes, oh, I'm here to, okay, so she's watching you. Melissa also writes that you are really doing well, Director Karim. Grace Akosia Amwabing, it says, well done, Karen. And then Hayford Giraldo de Lima says, this woman is so intelligent and very highly measured in all endeavors. All right, so let's do WhatsApp, and then we will be done. This one is from Positive Change, I believe in Medina. It says, can you imagine a political party banking its hope on the fact that the NDC is going to elect a new face, while NPP will be led by Bawumia old face, who is misleading the elephant to believe that once a crooked face can suddenly become appealing to the voters because it's about an old face and not a collective party performance. Positive Change sense in that on WhatsApp. This one says, NPP as a party needs deliverance. They will always be swimming in a pool of confusion. NPP is suffering as a result of the uncountable bad things done to Ghanaians. This one is from Zata in Techi Man. Okay, this one. Good morning, sir. Please ask the lady, ask the lawyer lady Karen if what Coca said about them and Sticker is true. Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about. You should have told me what you wanted to ask. Evans Ibn Samba from Laura. He says, good morning, Pan-African TV. Please, I thought the thank you tour was organized by the party other than Dr. Bawumia. The lawyer lady appeared to be crediting it to Dr. Bawumia. If a narrative is correct, then was Dr. Bawumia responsible